The Extraterrestrial Blood Bank. Prologue. The galaxy was not built, it was born, and like any living thing, it possesses not just a body, but a body's inner workings, a slow, vast metabolism of cause and effect, of birth and decay. For eons, this physiology lacked a single crucial organ. There was no heart to circulate its most precious element, no liver to filter the byproducts of a billion sentient experiences. The joys of one world evaporated into the solar winds, the sorrows of another pooled in its own atmosphere, becoming a permanent toxic weather. Each civilization was an island, drowning in the private sea of its own feeling, unaware that across the void another was dying of thirst for the first very thing they had in excess. Then it appeared, not constructed by engineers, but precipitated by necessity, like a pearl forming around an irritant in the galactic gut. It was a silent kidney, a passive heart, a place where the pressures of inner space, the push of memory, the weight of feeling could find an equilibrium. It did not announce itself, it simply began its work, a biological imperative made manifest, waiting for the tides of need to bring its first clients to its seamless living doors. The extraterrestrial blood bank opened for business without a sound, a solution to a problem the universe had not yet known it had. On the harvest of vital fluids. The facility does not orbit, it is stitched into the void between gravitational certainties, a sack of polished biopolymer anchored to nothing. Its purpose is the acquisition, cataloging, and preservation of vital fluids. This is not a medical endeavor, it is a library of liquid consciousness, a museum of inner seas. The collectors are silent, bulbous vessels that move through cosmic tides not by propulsion, but by manipulating the surface tension of space-time itself. They descend into atmospheres thick with ammonia, dive into the methane slush of rogue planets, and skim the coronas of dying stars, all to draw a single phial of essence from a living source. They do not kill, they take only what is offered in the shock of first contact, or what is willingly given in exchange for things a species cannot name. The taxonomy of inner seas. Within the sac, the fluids are not stored in vats, but in fields of sympathetic resonance. Each phial is a world. The ichor of the xylophage hive, a thick, sap-like substance that tastes of oxidized copper and the vibration of a million mandibles chewing in perfect unison. To be near it is to feel one's teeth ache with a rhythm not one's own. It is kept in a chamber that mimics the perpetual dusk of a hollowed-out asteroid. The solvent sorrow of the gas giant jellies, a volatile aerosolized plasma that weeps from creatures who swim the hydrogen depths. It carries the memory of perpetual slow descent through infinite pressure. It is stored in magnetic bottles, and to inhale even a stray molecule is to be flooded with a majestic and weightless grief, a longing for a home of crushing, beautiful density. The anti-blood of the void weavers, a substance that is less a liquid and more a structured absence. It drinks the light around it, not into darkness, but into a profound and silent clarity. It is the physiological expression of a mind that perceives the universe as a series of negative spaces, of connections rather than objects. Contact with it causes temporary, blissful agoraphobia, a sense of the solid world as an unbearable intrusion. The alchemy of transfusion. The value of this library is not in the components, but in the potential reactions. The bank is a laboratory for the synthesis of new states of being. When a drop of the hive ichor is allowed to mingle with a mist of the solvent sorrow, a third thing is born, a resonant emotion that has never existed before. It is not empathy, nor is it collective despair. It is a gravid stillness, a feeling of being part of a vast mourning chorus that is also paradoxically a single complete entity. This synthesized emotion can be distilled into a vapor and contained in impulse. A client, a species seeking an answer to an existential plateau, or an artist of a dying sun seeking a new pigment for their final masterpiece, might request a transfusion of this gravid stillness. The process is not intravenous, it is an osmotic immersion. The client is suspended in a medium charged with the synthesized fluid, allowing the new feeling to permeate their entire form, rewriting their emotional chemistry from the outside in. The economics of rapture. The currency here is experience itself. A species does not pay in metal or energy. To acquire a phial of anti-blood, a client might be required to donate a liter of their own racial memory of first light. The specific, visceral sensation of their home stars dawn on their planet's primal skin. This memory is then filtered from their collective consciousness, leaving them forever unable to recall that particular joy, but richer by one profound alien clarity. The bank thus becomes a circulatory system for the soul stuff of the galaxy. It trades the nostalgia of one species for the despair of another, the communal mine of a hive for the solitary perfection of a void dweller. It operates on a brutal, beautiful principle, that to gain a new sense, you must surrender an old one, that the expansion of a cosmic consciousness requires the deliberate, curated loss of a part of itself. The building is not a repository, it is a beating, silent heart, pumping the blood of 1,000 different lives through the empty veins of space, a grand and terrible engine remarking the emotional map of everything that lives and feels. Epilogue. And so the great exchange continues. The bank is no longer a place but a process, a permanent, silent function of a matured cosmos. The fluids flow in, are cataloged, are synthesized, and flow out again. A species from a dying star system receives a transfusion of collective courage, paid for with the permanent memory of the world's unique scent of rain. They are saved, but they are also forever lessened, and forevermore. The bank does not judge these transactions. It does not care for salvation or loss. It is merely the membrane, the permeable barrier that allows the galaxy to achieve a slow, stumbling balance. The sadness of one world becomes the foundation for another's art. The cold logic of a machine intelligence becomes the calming balm for a hyper-emotive hive. Everything is used. Everything is translated. There is no end to this story, only the perpetual, quiet hum of circulation. The universe, once a collection of lonely, screaming islands, is now a single interconnected body. It is learning to feel its own wounds and, through the silent work of the bank, to heal them. The sad animal of isolation is extinct. What remains is a different creature altogether, weirder, more complex, and finally, after all this time, whole.